I'm Dr. Stephanie Goloway, and I'm here to tell you a story about a story, Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, I was a professor at a community college. One of my favorite class assignments was a fairy tale unit. I'd have the students identify their favorite fairy tale, find 4 different versions of it, and then come up with all kinds of play opportunities that would help children make connections with the story as well as hit developmental and early learning outcomes. One semester, an amazing and seasoned childcare professional came to me and she said, "Oh, can I do my favorite fairy tale as a child? It was Hansel and Gretel." And I said, "Of course." Well, a few days later, she came in and she said, "This is a terrible story. Oh my goodness. The parents are mean. They abandon their kids in the forest and then a witch tries to eat the kids. I would never share it with my class." She was right. All of those things do happen in the story. And there are many adults who feel the same way that she does as adults. But there are also many adults who remember it being their favorite fairy tale as a child. Why is that? I think it's because while the adults in the story are pretty much losers, the children are awesome. They are resilience rock stars. Let's look at those protective factors of resilience and see what I mean. Relationships. This brother and sister duo had each other's backs. They were always taking care of each other, helping each other, and being a great team. This is relationship goals for children. Initiative. Hansel came up with the idea that if he kept a trail of white rocks, they could find their way home through the forest. And then later, when he was in a cage and the witch was trying to see if he was fattening up, he stuck a chicken bone out knowing that she couldn't see and would think that he was still skinny. As for Gretel, she came up with an idea of how she could get the witch into the oven instead of herself, as the witch wanted. These are great examples of problem solving and agency and risk taking. Now, hundreds of years ago, when the story was first told, nobody was talking about executive functions or brain development or probably even brains, but these kids used their neural networks throughout this tale. Hansel, when his attempts at gathering the white rocks were stymied on the second time his parents were going to put them in the woods, pivoted immediately to breadcrumbs. That's cognitive flexibility. He used working memory as he very carefully and methodically remembered to put the rocks down, or the breadcrumbs, as they went through the forest, even though he was scared and there were all kinds of other things going on. As for Gretel, she is an inhibitory control diva. Treated poorly by her parents, treated poorly by the witch. Then one day she finds out, okay, today's the day, Hansel's gonna get cooked, and she figures out that the witch is also gonna try to shove her into the oven. Oh my goodness, we would all be freaking out. Talk about fright, or freeze responses. Oh. But not Gretel, no. She figures out what to do, tamps down that fear response, comes up with a plan so that she can give Witchy Poo a taste of her own medicine and holds it together throughout the entire process, including the last shove into the oven. Definitely inhibitory control. All right, let's talk self-regulation. To be fair, it is not always activated in this story. I mean, okay, they're kids, they're hungry, and there's a house full of candy and cookies. Of course they're going to nibble and gnaw on it. But they do show self-regulation later in the story when they calm themselves down after the witch incident, gather up her jewels so that they can take them home, and then make their way carefully through the forest. In some versions, there's another good example of self-regulation from Gretel. A duck appears to take them across the river to the final stretch home, and Hansel hops on and tells her to come and sit on his lap. And she says, nope, I think it will be too heavy for that duck. I'll just sit here and wait until the duck comes back for me. And she does. Yep, Hansel and Gretel are truly the children that all kids want to be. For children who are experiencing trauma, They, like many characters in fairy tales, show them that they're not alone in having bad things happen to them. But more importantly, for all kids, Hansel and Gretel show that when you have challenges, you can bounce back and overcome them. And that is the ordinary magic of resilience in Hansel and Gretel. Thank you.